all of you. I think I have the Facebook side worked out. So it's good to see all of you today. Today we have Tere, and Tere is from Mexico. She's a brand ambassador. I was lucky enough to meet Tere in Bulgaria with Stella. It was a wonderful time. So it's good to see you again, Tere.
Thank you, John. It's good to see you too. And to meet with all the people that is here connected with us in Facebook as well as in Instagram.
Awesome. So we're going to do a small PowerPoint presentation where Tere's going to show some of her images, and then you can ask her questions. I think she'll also talk about them a little bit, and then we'll come back and start the demonstration. So with that, Tere, would you want to go ahead and do your PowerPoint, or Ethel?
I'll do the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Do we see this now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure that you follow Tere's social media accounts. This is Tere's Facebook account. This is her Instagram. And more about Tere, of course, from her website. And we'll proceed to show some of your artworks in the next couple of slides, Tere, beginning with this art.
Yeah.
Carry on, Tere.
Yes, this is a painting made in Vietnam. This is the rice fields in Vietnam. And I really love all the greens that were there because it is very difficult to handle greens. And the next one.
Can we see Tere's face?
I don't know. Ethel, can you put, no, I don't believe so because this is a presentation.
Yeah, not this.
Yeah, and this one, I know for those who doesn't know me, I love landscape and cityscape. I am an architect. I studied architecture here in my country, and I really love cityscapes. I love perspective through the line and also through tonal values. And here we can see Mexico City. This is an overview of Mexico City. This is a very important point in our city, the Latin America Tower, and in the background, the Metropolitan Cathedral of Mexico. And in the front in yellow, with a couple in yellow, it is the Fine Arts Palace in Mexico. And as I told you, I love cityscapes, and I handle always a sketch. This is a sketch. This is Turkey, Syrians, and I really love to work watercolor with some liners, pen, ink, and add some lines to the sketches. I will show you some of my sketches after this. And this is a watercolor, but not on paper, on canvas. And I really love the texture that we have here, and the colors. The colors were applied almost pure. So as you can see, I work on the values of these colors to give the sense of perspective. And this is a sketch watercolor and ink in San Miguel de Allende, another magical town in Mexico. We also some very typical towns in Mexico, very touristic places. So this is a magical town, San Miguel de Allende, and this is a facade. There is a lot of light in this town. There is a lot of color, and I was sitting just drinking some water, and I decided to make this sketch. And while we were in Bulgaria with John, Catherine, and Stella Canfield, it was amazing for me to see for the first time live the storks. So I decided to paint a stork because for me was wonderful to see how big they are and where they build their nests on the top of the light how you say, light posts?
Telephone posts, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I apply all the colors I always use for my buildings in the nest. And this is Venice, or Benedict, I think, Venecia in Spanish. This is a point of view where my daughter was just standing beside the gondol, but I decided to take her out because I really love how the light come in through the scene, and the main information was precisely the combination of the buildings and the gondolas and the blue of the water.
Yeah, it's the end of the slide, Tere.
Yeah. Okay, and well, I would like to show you, because one of the questions that Daniel Smith made to me was if I started my paintings with some background, with some basis. And yes, I made always sketches, ink sketches in some cases. I don't know if you can see it. This is Madrid, and it is only ink, but I also use a combination of watercolor and ink, and you have this. And then this will be a watercolor, I mean a real watercolor, big, maybe imperial size or half size. I also would like to show you that I work with walnut ink. This is walnut ink, and I use it, or I apply it with my goose pen, like this, and with my fingers. I mean, I draw with the pen, with the goose pen, and then I extend the color with my fingers, and then I apply some details. This is another one, and I would like to show you the final result, the watercolor. This is the watercolor. So I started my sketch with the walnut ink, and then I finished the watercolor, and also with some markers.
I cannot see nothing what she's showing.
No?
No. Oh, now yes.
Ethel, could you please change the camera to put?
Yeah,
okay.
It's there.
Thank you.
This is let me show you again the walnut ink. And this is just markers and pen. And this is the final result. See, I will put this one here. And I will show you again the walnut ink. I really love to work with that. This is the walnut ink, work with the goose pen. And this is, again, the final result. Let me see. And
does the final result also have walnut ink in it?
What? The final result has what?
Also have walnut ink in with the watercolor?
No, this is only watercolor. The walnut ink is just to make sketches. So for my sketches, I use markers, I use ink, I use pencil, I use the walnut ink, and sometimes some pastel, but not a lot. And also I use the sticks, the watercolor sticks. I like the French ultramarine stick, and I make a lot of sketches with only one color and only trying to find the shape and then the value of the colors. But these are only for sketches. And then I work on the watercolor. And this time for my demo, I decided to make this place. This is another magical town. The name is Cogley, located at the northern states of my country, Chihuahua. And here is where the Tarahumaras Indians are located. This is the only, in Mexico, there are a lot of Catholic churches, and I love to paint them. I love to paint the towers, the cupolas, and all these fantastic buildings. In Cogley, there is only one church because it is a very, very small town in the Tarahumara, how you say, the Copper Canyon in Mexico. So as you can see, it is very dark. I took the photo because it was a very rainy day. But I like the shape of the church and the buildings there. So let's start. I just wanted you to see how is it, and I will mark that the light was in the front of the church. In the side of the church. But I decided for work in this watercolor to change the light to the front of the church. Yes, so I will start, and I will put here the photo for me to have it. And let me tell you, when I started a watercolor, could be with the sky or could be not, that depends. But right now I will start with the sky. For the skies, I like to apply pure colors. Ultramarine, French ultramarine, or cobalt, or the other one that is Taylor blue turquoise. And if I need to get the sky darker, I apply later another layer with a darker color. Right now, I will apply only water here. If you have some question, please tell me. And for this painting, I decided to use cobalt blue. I apply the water, and then I just let the water run. Just trying to leave on the paper the exact amount of water.
Tere, what is your paper?
The paper is Hane. No, this one is a Chinese paper. The Chinese paper is called Clayton or Layton. In this case, yeah. But I use Hanemule, the collection, 300 grams. This is 300 grams too. And I also use water for sanders and also arches. Now I will apply the cobalt blue. And I just let the water run down and up. And another layer of cobalt blue. Right now, you are not watching, but I'm putting the paper on vertical way.
What kind of brush is that?
This is a hake, a Chinese one. Oh, let me see here. And now I will start, I will leave the sky to work alone, and I will turn around my paper because I'm going to work on the grass. For the grass, I decided to use the tallow yellow green. And again, I will apply it pure. Tallow yellow green. Yeah. And again, I will apply it pure. And I also will apply, I will make a mix of Pearlene Maroon and French Ultramarine. I will use something like this. Leave it. And again, this color. And I will make a mix of Pearlene green, green gold, and hookers. And then I will apply it in here. Okay, and now I will use the same color. And you can see that I have changed my brush. Now this is an angled shader. You can see. I really like to work with these brushes.
You always paint upside down?
No.
I have never seen that.
No. I am just trying that the water work on the green side, and then I will go back to the right side. Now we will have here the right side.
Tere, Betty's asking, how do you choose your colors?
How do I choose my colors? Well, that depends on the building. Mostly the churches and the Catholic buildings were made of, Angela, do you know how to say in English cantera?
Cantera means stone, a type of stone, right?
Yeah,
I don't know the name. Yeah, soft stone.
This kind of stone has mainly two colors. You can find them here in Mexico in pink and in green. In green at the sound of country.
Sandstone, yes. Thank you, Anna.
Okay, and when the time goes by, this stone started to get a kind of brownish. brownish, I mean, depending of if the stone is green or if the stone is pink. So this brownish is sometimes very difficult to understand how it went brown when at the very beginning was very pink or very green, light green and light pink. So I found that in these buildings, you can use a combination of perilene maroon with French ultramarine, and you can have this kind of brown that makes the illusion that is this kind of stone in the buildings. So for this case especially, I decided to use these colors. And now we will start to work with the yellow color of the cupola. How you say, cupolas?
Yeah, cupola.
Yeah. So, as I told you, I'm going to, I change again the brush. This is a round one, Skoda. And I will apply the color pure again.
A mop brush, right?
Ma?
Is it a mop brush?
No, a round brush.
Oh yes, a travel brush.
Round brush. And I started to apply here. And then I will apply the quinacridone pink in here, and also on the paper, and also the permanent orange. But just to give the sense of round, I just keep the color in this side. And I start to do the same here. And
is the sky already dry so that you don't have to worry about the pigment bleeding?
Which one? The side, the sky?
The sky, the blue.
It is not already dry, but still I can find that this orange sheet is not going to be a problem. Here maybe this little tiny spot, but not really. And I will apply this. And then again, I will use the combination or the mix that I use for the lower part of the building. And this color will go here also in this little tiny one.
And the building was maroon and ultramarine?
Maroon, perilene maroon and French ultramarine.
We had a question on Facebook saying there's a big range of brushes in a Skoda. Which one is yours?
Which one is what?
Which Skoda brush are you using?
This one, the Skoda Barocco from the set, the green set. I'm going to show you that while this is drying. This is the set, and this is the brush.
Is it the versatile?
No, Barocco.
Mm.
Barocco is another series.
Yeah.
So right now we have to wait a little bit in order the paper get dry.
Tere, did you use deep gold?
Deep what?
Deep gold.
No, green gold for the green.
No. No,
No.
for the no, you didn't.
Yeah,
Which-
no, I didn't. I used permanent orange, and for starting, the permanent yellow dip.
Hmm. Thank you.
And then I added quinacridone pink. Pink, and let's wait a little bit.
Tere, what's
Yeah.
the size of your brush, please?
What's the what?
The size.
The size is
12.
number
12.
12, no, 10.
Okay.
10.
Thank you. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah.
Angela.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I will bring the dryer in order to get faster, to go faster. Could you please turn my audio off?
It'll cancel by itself.
Okay.
it's funny how Zoom switches off the sound, right?
It is amazing. Yeah, both Facebook and Zoom. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Uh-huh. When it's too loud, they just stop the sound.
Smarties.
Very.
Being the mom of boys, I wish I could have that in my house too.
With the boys' toys.
Okay. And now we will start with other part. There is some greens in this part of the building. This is also, it is not only a church, it's also a convent. So this part of the building is where the nuns receive all the girls that don't have any place to live, and they prepare them to make some broderie and some arts in order to sell them in Chihuahua, the capital city of this state. And they prepare also them for the school, for going in the school in Mexico. So they are doing a very important job in this church. So this part is the buildings where the girls are having school. And I will prepare some perilena green, and I will add some, let me see, some green gold here. And also I will start with a lighter green.
Sorry, Tere, could you show briefly, Geraldine would like to see your palette briefly, just to show.
Just let me put some color in here.
Yeah.
I don't want this to get dry, and I will show you the palette.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I applied just one color, and now on this, I will start to do a bigger one. I mean, a darker one. And then I will take some French ultramarine and add some color in here. Yes, and here's my palette. Let me see if it can be seen completely. Here, in this part, I have Naples yellow. This is the quinacridone sienna. This one is the cadmium yellow hue, the titanate yellow, and this one is the how do you call it? Gamboge?
Gamboge.
Gamboge.
Love your accent.
Oh, Stella, you know how I suffer pronouncing these names. And
you're not alone.
The next one is the permanent yellow dip, and the permanent yellow, and the pyrrole orange. And this one is the quinacridone scarlet. Then I have here the quinacridone violet. These three are the same because I use it a lot. So I have it here. I have here Mayan red, the opera pink that I know some painters don't use it, but right, Stella? But I love it. I love the opera pink, lavender, titanium white, buff titanium, pearlina maroon here, marshmallow, another color that I really love, quinacridone pink, quinacridone burnt orange that I love, and then the Van Dyke brown and sepia. And here for my greens and blues, I have this tallow yellow green, the pearlina green, the gold green, the hooker's green, and here I have the tallow green. These both are the same. Here I have the cerulean blue, and this one I don't use it. It is the cobalt. I don't remember right now the name because I don't use it too much. But this manganese blue, cobalt, French, these two are the same, phthalo blue turquoise, and this one Indatrone blue, and this one indigo, shadow violet, and neutral tint. These are my colors. Now let's see.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we will start.
What do you use the opera pink for?
Which one?
What do you use the opera pink for?
Bougainvillea.
The bougainvillea. You see the quinacridone violet or the quinacridone pink, or the opera?
Opera.
I'm not carrying the point. Barbara, Angela.
What's the opera pink for?
Okay, for bougainvillea, but not only for that. Yes, Estela was right. But I use the opera pink to end some of my paintings. I will show you when I finish this how I use it. Okay?
Okay.
So right now I will add some water in here because I want to do or to create some volume in the building, and I will add French ultramarine. Trying to mix it with the orange I used before. And then again here. Now trying to mix it with the quinacridone pink. And just here, I'm trying to give some volume to the building. And also here. And I will add again an orange on the top of the cupule, but a pyrrole orange, not the permanent one. And I'm just trying to give the shape of the things that are on the church. This is a very tiny little one watercolor, so this is almost a sketch.
Is it a quarter sheet?
A what?
A quarter sheet?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And now, almost all the time on the tops of the building, religious or not religious, we put some color on the top using, ¿cómo se dice barro, Angela?
Clay.
Some clay things. And these clay things are going to give some color to the top of the buildings.
Tiles.
Bricks.
¿Cómo se llama? Ah, bricks.
Yeah. In Spanish, we call this antepecho. And the antepecho always give a very, very nice color to the top of the buildings and a shadow. And when the time goes by, this color, this red color of the clay goes down through the surface of the facade. So that's why I am adding some perylene maroon to pure.
Reflected light.
Yeah. Also here. And in here. As you can see, I can do my mixes in both ways, on my palette or on the paper directly. So let's continue. I'm gonna add some quinacridone burnt orange to this part to give the volume of the element. And in the photo, where's my photo? I cannot find it right now because where is it? Maybe, here it is. It flew away. But in this part of the church, let me see, this part of the church, the elements are red, completely red. So I will add some quinacridone red to this part. And I don't care where it's going to be. Here,
so the other layer is already dry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's already dry. And I will add some colors in here. If you can see the photo, this part, the cupulilla, the little tiny cupule is very dark. So I will add a dark value in here.
So are you choosing these colors from memory since they don't really show in the photograph?
Yes, from memory, but also thinking in the architecture of my country. So I know how the buildings and the materials, I mean the construction materials are behaving. So I know that they will look in some way. Sometimes I decided to change the color and to use the colors I like rather than the colors of the building. But in this case, it's very, I mean, I like the colors that look on the building itself, and I decided just to add it. And
okay, thank you.
And now here in this part of the building, let me show you, there are some windows, tiny little windows in here. So I will do this, and there are some trees. I don't know you can see it, but there are some trees in here. The darker part, these are trees. So I will add the trees because it's an element that helped me to break all the building. The buildings are very straight, and with the green you can break this straightness. You can say that?
Yeah. Straight line.
And now I will start adding some other element. What?
What colors were you using down there for the trees? The dark.
This is a mix. It's a perlini green with gold green and some French ultramarine.
Thank you.
Are you willing to speak a moment on your philosophy about greens? Valerie Levine on Facebook commented that Tere is brilliant with her greens. Can you elaborate on your philosophy and your favorite mixes? Thank you.
My philosophy of my colors?
Greens.
Yes.
Of my greens. Yes, because let me tell you something. Greens are colors that are very difficult for me. I don't know if for every artist in the world, but for me, yes. So when I started to work with greens, I always added the pure green, and it became just extreme, so extreme that it doesn't look real. It doesn't look natural. So I decided to mix some greens and some colors in order to have a variety that could be real. That because green in life, it's relaxing for human beings. But if you don't use the right green in a painting, it could be extreme, as I said before. So I needed to have some greens that could have this, give this experience to the people that are watching my paintings. And that's why I try to mix all of them. Sometimes I add, because these greens are made or are mixed with the greens that I have from Daniel Smith, but also mixed with French ultramarine or cobalt blue. So sometimes to avoid the coldness of this color, I add some quinacridone violet, like in here. Or I make a mix of the burnt quinacridone burnt orange. Let me show you, and the cobalt blue. And this will give me a very dark green. And I can add this color everywhere. And now, I forgot to add some values of this tower because I need to do this in order to give some volume to the constructive element. And also, I have to add to the cupola some color.
Being an architect, it helps.
Always in the base of the buildings, always there is a shadow, a dark value that has to do with the use, because it is attached to the floor, to the soil, and always have some dark values in there, and I like to give it to them.
We have a related question. We have a related question on Facebook. You were talking about not forgetting to drop in that sculpture. Kristen Clark is asking, do you change some of the elements in a painting as well as the colors?
Yeah, I changed some elements. Let me tell you something. When I was in that place, let's see here. When I was in that place, all the buildings related to the school of the girls in here were finished with an element that was a tower. But here in the photo, you cannot see it because of the length of the buildings and the size of my photo. So I decided to shorten this element and to add more green to this part of the painting because it gives me more interest to the painting. Also, if you see here, the length between the cupola and the tower is longer, and here I shorten it because I wanted my composition to go like this in a triangle, putting the yellow elements in different forms, in different shapes, in different sizes, but putting these elements in order to make a triangle to give a better sight to the audience, to the people who see this information. Mm-hmm. And now, yes?
You also made, it looks like you also made the dome on the right taller and more prominent than the picture.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because in here, if you see, this is a very small, tiny yellow. So I decided to make it bigger. And if you can see here, the element is dark, but I want this element in yellow and orange glow into the painting. And that's why I am not adding some dark values in here.
Oh, I meant the dome on the right-hand side. It looks like you made it more prominent and bigger.
This here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same reason. I mean,
Beautiful.
The same reason, because I want this to be the elements that guide the sight of the person that is watching the painting. And now I will do something else while this is getting dry. I will add again water into the green size, and I will add color as well. Again, the same, the green, the light green here. And this time I will mix all my greens, the peryliner green and this one with the phthalo green. I will add a little bit of phthalo green and French ultramarine. What is the French? So, and here in a vertical way, I will add this. And I will try to change my green, and I am adding some Van Dyke brown to the mix, the same mix, and I will do this here. And leave this dry. Now we will add some details because, as I told you, this is a very almost like in a sketch, and we will start to add some values, some accents to the painting. Just let me try to. And these little values are in here. Here are the bells. And here also are the bells. And we will start to do this.
Hello, Tere.
Hello, who is it?
It's Ian speaking.
Hello, Ian.
What would you consider yourself to be? Do you consider yourself a person who focuses in on colouring? Or do you like to do tonal values? Or
depends on the painting. That's a very good question, because sometimes I work only on the values, and sometimes I work applying some colors directly to show how the building is or the painting is. So in this case, I am not trying to get focused on the values, but in the color of the composition, and that's it. And now,
putting too much value in that would totally ruin what you've already built up, wouldn't it?
I didn't understand.
putting too much tonal value in at this stage of the painting would take away from the colour that you've created.
Oh, sorry.
The color and value go together, Ian. Color and value do go together.
Yes, but sometimes it's more specific and you can see all the values in there. Now, and this is not a value studio. I will show you some at the very end. And I will add some colors in here. And let's start. Let me see if my hand is clean, because I will start adding some points in here.
Hello, Tere.
Hello,
it's me,
Besnik. Yes, I know your voice.
Nice painting, I love it. Sorry, I had some issues with the internet. Electricity is going on, off. And now I'm connected through my phone.
Wow.
I like the painting.
Hey, Ian, how are you doing in the heat?
I didn't get this.
Ian, how are you doing where it's so hot?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
It's calmed down in our area now.
Oh, good. I bet
We've
it
had
was
quite a bit of rain.
Oh, aren't you lucky? Don't we wish we had some?
We'll pump you some down.
I will use the dryer again, okay?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying seeing her color work and her color philosophy.
Are you drying it because you're going to add more?
It doesn't hear from the noise.
Okay, now I'm going to do something that I like to do with the grease. And it is to apply some lavender. I use it pure. I charge my brush. And I apply it only here, because there is some kind of different, I don't say, ¿cómo dices pendiente, Angela?
A slope?
There is a kind of slope here. So what I'm trying to do is to mark this slope. And to add in dry. These colors. And let it dry. And you asked me how I use Opera. And I add this color to my buildings a lot. So I charge my brush, this brush, and I just leave it like this.
Wow.
And really, when it dries, it is not going to be really thin, because the other values, the other colors will appear there. And
beautiful.
Beautiful. That works so well with that building.
And I will add also here some sepia values here. Not in all the places. And I think here it is. I don't know, I will add some other color, some green here, not to see everything so squares. And that's it.
That's beautiful.
Very beautiful, Tere.
Yeah.
No. How can I show you this?
This a little bit, un poco menos inclinado. Así. Perfecto. Perfect. Thank you.
Beautiful today.
Beautiful.
I have a question.
Great demo. Thank you.
The connection is not good. I didn't hear her.
Oh, I wanted to ask a question when you were showing your original works. I did not know that you could paint watercolor on canvas.
Ah, yeah. Yes, you can. And when you have your canvas, I mean, right now, you can find watercolor canvases. But if you don't find it, because in Mexico, it is very difficult to find one of them, you can find it in some places in Europe, in South America, in South Africa, and of course in China. But if you don't have a watercolor canvas, what you do is to use a normal and standard canvas and to use, how you say, lija, Angela?
A filing.
Yeah, you need to file all the canvas, all the surfaces, and then clean all the dust you will have there, and do it again. After that, you can try with a brush if the watercolor stays there. If not, you have to repeat this movement, okay? And after that, you can paint on watercolor. At the very end of when you finish the painting, you can add some, como dices, barniz, some glow.
Varnish.
In order to,
Yes.
Yeah.
But
in order
also,
to have it ready to frame.
But
wow.
don't forget
Thank
that you also the watercolor ground.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Well,
Tere, you can use watercolor ground. Is the best option.
That canvas was made, or that painting was made before I have the ground. After that, and I was talking with John, telling him that I participated in a contest, in a comet contest, painting on the comets. And the comets were made of recycled paper. So the grams were not enough to receive water. They can make the paper go away. So I decided to use in this recycled paper the ground. I used the ground and then I applied watercolor. My comet won a prize because it was in the contest the only painting on the comet with watercolor. Others couldn't make it. What?
You mean a kite?
The kite. Yes, a kite. In Spanish, in Mexico, we call it papalote. Papalote is the Nahuatl word for butterfly.
Yeah.
And that's why we call it so, papalote. And on the let me show you the papalote. Because I have it one in here. And it was a very good experience for me. Also, I used the ground to work it on glass. This is the kite.
Wow.
This is the kite. And it was in the contest the only watercolor because the others couldn't make it, and they worked with pastels, pencils, acrylic, oil, everything, but in watercolor. And I also wanted to show you that when I use the French ultramarine, and I'm in a mood of working with values, yes, I like to do this. Yeah. And this is, I mean, I was in front of these buildings only with the paper, with the stick, water, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
You've got that real feel of depth as well, and you can tell it's like a cityscape of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really love to work values with the French ultramarine stick.
Mm-hmm.
Tere, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for being today, and it was great. Your painting's absolutely beautiful. Would you, when you're done adding any extra colors, I think you said you were going to do that. Would you post the final results? We can all look at it.
Yeah. Well, after this, you mean after this? Yes. Because for this is the colors were prepared in base of the building and the knowledge I have of the building and the place. But I also like in buildings to use a mix of marsh yellow. And do you want me to do just approve of this mixing?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Because it is really nice to see it. If I have here, let's see, let's use marsh yellow. Oh, the brush. I use it always very, very clean. So I like to apply for buildings French ultramarine, and I'm going to just to have water in here. Let's say this is a wall. This is a wall, and the wall is in the shadow, okay? And this is another wall. Just is a perspective. So in this, I prepare a mix of marsh yellow and Mayan red on the palette. Let me show you here. Marsh yellow, Mayan red. And I also leave some marsh yellow pure just to have it in case. While the pepper is wet, I apply the color.
A bit more to the right. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
And this is the result of this color. And I will try to add some values here and to add some value here, just a darker one. And I leave that color. And for the top of the building, I use perlene maroon. I always like to use that color. And for the bottom of the building, I like to add, while wet, quinacridona violet. And then, again, using the marsh yellow, just to do the perspective, and adding again the quinacridona. And let's complete the perspective with the mix of all the colors in the palette. And you have this kind of values and colors on the buildings. I love this.
Amazing, amazing, in just 1 minute.
And you've got a connection between all of them as well, which really helped.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, that's it.
Thank you, Tere. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Beautiful painting.
Bye-bye.
Esperamos en San Miguel.
Thank you.